a bit of a slow rolling story, but I believe on whether it was Monday or Tuesday, one of the EU financial commissioners announced a new set of proposed rules on crypto services. And I think primarily there was a tweet from the head of the commission that described the regulations as a ban on anonymous crypto wallets, which, those of us who are familiar with crypto might immediately think that they're talking about software wallets or hardware wallets, self-custody. As it turned out, that is actually not what they're talking about. And so to Jen's point of regulators not knowing the technology, this seems to be a case of that, where they're using this broad term of wallets to talk about what they actually meant was third-party servicers who provide custody or exchanges or things like that. So basically, the actual rules are putting some new limits on, basically making crypto exchanges and custody services comply to existing banking laws rather than like battering down your door to take away your ledger. So there was some real confusion there, and I think that there was actually the market dip early this week, I think, could have been attributable to that misinformation. And there's more to add, but who wants to go? Who wants to get in here?
Yeah, I'll go. I think that, it was kind of funny because I started to see all this stuff on Twitter that's like, they're banning wallets. This is the end. And then there are a lot of people who are like, oh, you dumb people, you didn't even read the fine print. And it's like, well, I can't blame the dumb people because, as you said, David, the EU Commissioner for Financial Services literally tweeted out that they will ban anonymous crypto wallets and make sure that crypto asset transfers are traceable. So, the fact that she's out there tweeting this stuff, which is completely not correct, and you've got to wonder, why is she doing this? Like, are they deliberately creating FUD, or is this just a lack of understanding? I mean, it could be a little bit of both. You tend to see these regulators, their rhetoric be very heavy-handed and like, well, we're really cracking down now, to kind of scare people into submission and intimidate a little bit. But I have no doubt that these people,
they want to make the point that they're doing something.
Absolutely, exactly. It's self-serving, like, look at me, I'm really taking a stand and achieving good things and protecting people. But I do think that, it was a lack of understanding as well. She just didn't really know what she's talking about, and these are the people who are regulating this industry. So come on, hold on tight, guys. This is only gonna intensify from here. But, I think that it really does give you a taste of what we've got in our future. And Ron Paul talked about this. I interviewed him a few times years ago, and he was talking about this coming war with regulators that was inevitable in the crypto space, that they're going to start cracking down, and that crypto people just need to stand their ground because free money is just so important for the future of society. As different regimes get more and more totalitarian, as they get more surveillance based, like, it's important to hold on to the freedoms that you have, and cryptocurrency enables that. So he talked about that at length, and really now we're starting to see what regulators are going to start to do. It is all of the central point, it's all of the hubs that they're going to start to regulate, it's all of the custodial wallets, which is actually what this law is about. It's not about the software that anyone can download on their computer, because how are they ever going to regulate that? They're not going to be able to crack down on that. So really, they are talking about those targeted hubs that actually can be focused on by government. And so I think we're going to see more and more of this, and see more of these intermediaries, these payment processors, these exchanges, these centralized hubs be targeted in the future. But Ben, I saw your hand go up, so I'll throw to you.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is just a kind of, yet again, which is a reminder we should get every day that Twitter is not the best source of information for a whole variety of reasons, including the bubbles with which it kind of ricochets around and then gets totally distorted. So always something to keep in mind. Try to go read that fine print, right? I also feel like those 4 words, like banning anonymous crypto wallets, could be rearranged in any certain order, and they would still like hit all the pain points in crypto people's brains and cause this exact same kind of reaction, because they're just so loaded in this space. I think more generally, it's going to be an interesting case where, like, it's also up to policymakers to really clearly articulate and communicate the nuances in these sorts of things, because they are quite complex and nuanced. And that's something where I think it would behoove everybody involved in this case, and in the case of people retweeting or tweeting out FUD or freaking out, that it's just like, take a breath and like, let's try and make sure we're understanding this properly. But Jen, I'll toss it back up to you.
Well, Ben, just to your point, a lot of media outlets also got it wrong. The Irish Times headline in the article made me laugh. They said that the EU was banning cryptocurrency anonymity. And so I'm not exactly sure how that can happen. But a lot of this misunderstanding is
yeah, right.
misunderstanding is coming from the media. So it just brings us back to the point that you need to research for yourself and really understand what you're reading.
So if I can quickly jump in, there is another layer of nuance here that I will be getting into in tomorrow morning's edition of The Node, which is our newsletter that you should subscribe to. Because even though they're not banning anonymous crypto wallets, there do appear to be some restrictions in those regulations about sending funds to anonymous crypto wallets from custody services, which actually is very scary. And I'll be digging into that. But at the same time, before these regulations were even publicized, and these are still just proposals, by the way, the European Data Commission had sent a letter to the finance commissioners warning that the rules might violate the General Data Protection Rules, GDPR. So there's a whole other fight about this that's going to happen between the regulators, in fact.